I'm watching Kara Swisher's new podcast. It's called Pivot. And the flag is in, the logo is in red, PIV is in red. Anyway, so now I'm on YouTube because all my live streams are being deleted from Facebook. They're talking about Jeffrey Epstein is a pedophile, pedophile. Let me give you a pedophile. A lesson I learned on a bicycle, while I was pedaling. Getting images in my head of Gattaca. But you go out on your bike, maybe you're not in the best shape. Maybe you bike for 2 or 3 hours. And then all of a sudden, you don't want to bike anymore. You're done. It's time to take a break and sit on a park bench in the woods by a lake. Drink a Coke Zero. Have a Snickers. But now I'm 3 hours away from my apartment. 2 hours, 3 hours away from my apartment. And I just stopped biking because I'm sick of biking. And when I'm done, my Coke Zero and my Snickers, maybe 2 Coke Zeros. Maybe I'm gonna chill for 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna get back on my bike and I'm gonna ride home. Now that I'm sick of riding my bike. Now that I've ridden my bike so much that I don't really want to ride it anymore. And now I'm 2 or 3 hours away from my apartment. And I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I'm pedaling. Maybe my lower back hurts. Maybe my palms hurt. My arms. My triceps. My legs are a bit tired. I'm pedaling and coasting. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna lay down and die? Life is suffering, death is liberation. Is this where I give up? Is this where I lay down and die? Or am I just gonna keep pedaling until I get back to my apartment? Oddly enough, the hotel I'm in right now kinda sorta feels like one of my old apartments. It's a mix. We have a vibe of Howard Johnson with what I would describe as a nice slum. I won't call it a slum. It's not exactly a slum. Slum refers to, places that are run down. It's basically a ruin. It's an organic ruin. The place across my hotel is a little bit nicer than that. It's not a slum. It's got kind of a military bungalow vibe. Anyway, um, and I'm on a low floor. It reminds me, it's like a mix of several apartments I lived in Shanghai, and I have to walk at least 400 meters to get to a 7-Eleven. That's an 800-meter round trip if I want to go out. For some errands. Anyway, I'm back to the pedophile. You're in the middle of nowhere and you just gotta keep pedaling. That's the pedo lesson. Go ride your bike. Go ride your bike. Go fly like a bird. You're gliding. The wind is in your face. Go ride your bike and enjoy it in the sun. And do that until you're really fucking sick of riding your bike. Two, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It depends on your current physical condition. If you're in good shape, when I was in really good shape, after I did that a few times, I was able to do a 200K. I went to Suzhou and back in a day. I got a flat tire. I got it fixed. There was a slight delay. Took me 8 hours and 43 minutes of cycle time. But I feel like it was about a 12-hour trip. And the next morning when I woke up, this is related to Nietzsche. The next morning when I woke up after I did that 200K, my legs were a little bit sore. A little bit. But it wasn't like the previous times that I had done it. The day after I did a 200K, I felt like if I wanted to, I could get back on my bike and do it again. You know? Like my legs were a bit sore. I definitely remembered that I did a 200K the day prior. I didn't forget about it. I remembered it in my legs a little bit, but I wasn't wiped the fuck out like I had been after previous trips. So number one, keep pedaling because you have no choice. There is also a lesson about freedom and pain. And the inherent suffering of life. You made your bed, now sleep in it. There's all kinds of fucking things that I could just listen. The pedophile. You have You have to try it. Just go ride a bike. It's enjoyable. You feel like you're gliding. You feel like you're a bird flying 3 feet off the ground. 4 feet, 5 feet, depending on where your head is. But you can pedal really fast and then you can glide for hundreds of meters or down a hill. And it's amazing. You're free. You're free. And then 2, 3, 4 hours later, oh, I want to take a break. I'm done. And now you're 2, 3, 4 hours away from your apartment. Do it. You can fuck it up. Maybe your bike's gonna break. Maybe it's gonna start raining. You know, like worst case scenario, you can call an Uber, but really just like I did it once in Ottawa. I think I did 80 clicks or 60 clicks. Anyway, later I found out that some faggot had fucked with my brake pads on my bike, and that's why I wasn't able, like, I just couldn't fucking pedal my bike anymore. I called an Uber. And then I fixed my bike and it was better, but at that point I was annoyed that someone was fucking with my bike, so I just, anyway. Someone came into my apartment and perforated my bike. I got a flat. I went to the bike shop and they pulled a little fucking pin out of my tire. Whatever. On the side. You would never, it wasn't, I didn't like run over this pin. Someone, anyway. Criminal harassment, property theft, property damage. And then you keep pedaling when you're dealing with these, the retard clique. You become Gulliver versus the Lilliputians. When you get up one morning after a 200K and you feel like you could do another one. Maybe you don't retain the cardio. I don't know that I could do a 200K right now. But I kept the attitude. I kept the attitude. So you can learn a tremendous amount from this Pedo video file. A lot. It's a recurring theme in my life. I feel like the 5 years, 5 rounds of dick, Christmas of hate. This, like a championship UFC fight is 25 minutes. Wow. That's amazing, 25 minutes. Tour de France takes about a month, I think. And oddly enough, I listened to Lance Armstrong giving some talks. There was a documentary called The Armstrong Lie. He did a bunch of interviews. He talked about the various nuances of the definition of cheating. He defined it as to gain an advantage in a competition. But if all of your competitors are cheating, then you're not really gaining an advantage by cheating. So it's not really cheating if everyone else is cheating. Like, if they have to go back in the year that I won the Tour de France, if they have to go back and give my first place trophy to the person who came in number 31, arguably I wasn't cheating. Anyway, I feel like, I learned some pseudo-intellectualism from a cyclist. And a UFC fight is 25 minutes. That's very impressive. And it's bullshit. It's WWF, WWE, whatever. It's faggots wearing muscle suits. And I'd rather fuck a reanimated corpse. But you can learn a lot on a bike. You can learn a lot on a bike. Take a few Krav Maga classes. It's basically rape defense. Go for the eyes, the balls, the soft, basic self-defense. You can learn basic self-defense in a month or two. But come to think of it, there are several pseudo-intellectual points that I have applied from Krav Maga class as well. Don't run away after you hit the guy. Like a lot of the times, what you see in the movies is, you hit someone over the head with a toaster or something, a bottle of wine, and then he falls down, and then you run away, and he catches up with you later. So what you want to do is, you want to keep hitting the fucker until he stops moving. Keep pedaling. Keep hitting. Never stop. Until you're in a place that looks like your apartment and you can sleep in your own fucking bed. Just now, as I wrapped up the key pedophile points, my laptop screensaver popped on, and now I'm looking at sequoias. I remember, thank you for the reminder. I have images in my head of I was invited to like a startup, I don't know, some shared workspace, and some VCs were there, and they had a panel, and there was a young lady on the panel. There was, it was a bullshit panel, but I noticed it was a bullshit panel because there was a PA on the panel. So I asked, there was a question period, and I asked these bullshit fucking VCs, these dumb fucks, I asked them, what is the hardest thing you've ever done? I directed my question towards the young lady, but then her much older colleague decided to take that question. I don't remember his answer. Some blase bullshit. Oh, no, 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 I remember. He said admitting he was wrong. Admitting he was wrong was the hardest thing he's ever done. Fucking up a startup and admitting he was wrong is the hardest thing that this Jew nigger ever did. And what is the meaning of entrepreneurship? I think I asked him. It was after I had written a blog post about what is entrepreneurship. I asked him, "What do you think? What do you think is the meaning of entrepreneurship? What is the hardest thing you've ever done, and what do you think is the meaning of entrepreneurship?" That was my two questions for the VCs. What is the hardest thing you've ever done, and what do you think is the meaning of entrepreneurship? One who takes on between taker, entrepreneur, one who takes on is the meaning of entrepreneurship. And I can tell you, you're not very good at admitting you were wrong. You did not learn that lesson. Cunt.